Well, here we are, folks. It is the last battle of the Confederate campaign here on Ultimate General Civil War. And before we dive into the assault on Washington, I do want to take just a couple of minutes and look over some of the key units that have been with us throughout the war, as well as the patron units, and just talk about how they've performed. And just look at it a little bit. We're going to go starting right with the First Corps. O'Hare's Ohio Outlaws, going all the way back to looks like January of 1862. I don't know if this is European style dating or American style. I guess the only way to know for sure would be to try and figure out some of these. Okay, it is. So that's actually the 1st of July of 1862. And their first action was all the way back at Cedar Mountain. You can see Fredericksburg, huge day for them. For a while, they were 24-pounders. They started with 10-pounder Blakeleys, and you can actually see what they did in every single battle, which is really cool. And it looks like sometime around Fredericksburg, or just before Prairie Grove, we actually switched over to 24-pounders. And there they had 16 lost and killed 5,200. Later on in the war, we did switch over to 20-pounder Parrots. Jim O'Hare asked me to go ahead and make that switch, so it began with Saunders Farm, where they had 1 loss and 3,300 killed. And you can see what they've done. Every single battle in the last 5, they've had at least 3,000 kills. So for a grand total of 426 losses, that's over 100% losses since I only have 300 in the unit, and 40,000 total kills. Let's go ahead to the 95th Rifles. Now, 95th Rifles, their stats aren't going to be like the others, obviously, because of the nature of their unit. These skirmisher units, these 1,000-man skirmisher units, tend to be kind of my cannon fodder. They take a lot of the casualties, but still really, really good. They were actually formed the same day on the 1st of July, 1862. 4,200 total losses, over 13,000 kills. Going all the way back to Bull Run, they've had the SF 1861s. I believe that's what they still have. So they've had the same units all the way along, or the same guns all the way along. Probably best performance again, Fredericksburg, really good day for them. Chancellorsville was a good day as well. Moving on to Riley's Rangers, our 3-star skirmisher sharpshooter unit. You can see there 849 losses, 66,000 kills. They go all the way back to the start of the war, May of 1861. They were at Newport News. They had the sharpshooter guns then. They've had them every single place. First Bull Run, 0 losses, 5,000 kills. That was probably their very best day, as you can see. Performed admirably all the way along. Let's move on here. Those 4-inch siege guns, that's not a patron unit, but my goodness, look at that. 197 losses, 64,000 kills, and that is a battery that has never had more than 5 guns in it. I can only imagine if I was on the Union side and I could get a hold of 12 of these things, what a unit like that could have done. Best day for them, Chickamauga, almost 8,000 kills for 125 men. That is incredible. All right, let's take a look at Sweet's West Virginia Cavalry. They go all the way back to the start of the war as well. And remember, the cavalry, for me, these mounted infantry, or these mounted melee units have been shock cavalry. So they take a lot of casualties, but they have an incredible impact on the battlefield. So the numbers don't really tell the tale because they shatter units regularly. And so their impact goes well beyond the 26,000 or so kills that they've had throughout the war. But as far as pure numbers go, Stones River was incredible for them. 134 losses, 2,800 kills. Antietam took a lot of losses, but also inflicted a lot of damage on the enemy. So those were kind of the 2 best days for them. So let's move on now. Here's the Anzac Diggers. They're going to be a massive force for me. 80 losses, 55,000 kills for them. And really the majority of their losses came at Saunders Farm. You can see here, Laurel Hill, 3 lost, 6,700 caused. 1 lost at Gettysburg, 6,300 in casualties caused. They actually went all the way up to Rio Hill before they even lost anybody, and they didn't even come into the Army until September of 1862, right around the time of Antietam, where they weren't engaged. So I guess we actually created them after Antietam. Let's see who else we've got here. I don't think we have any other ones in this particular unit. So let's move on to the 3rd unit, and I don't think we have any patron units here. So that's pretty much all of them. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're facing here. I have held back some money and some recruits because I'm probably going to need them because this is a multiple day battle, and even after we take Washington, we're going to face a massive counterattack. This is going to be a challenge. This is hardly a sure thing. We're going to be heavily outnumbered to start, and this doesn't even really tell the tale. If you've played this battle before, you know that we face a massive counterattack from the Union after we take everything. So even after I wipe out these 97,000 men, it's far from a sure thing. They're in forts. This is going to be hard. 57,000 or so men, 365 guns against 97,000 and 375 guns. This will be a multiple video battle. We'll see how far we get in this first part, but we'll do this every day until it's done. So whatever I don't do today, come back. We will see it tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. So here's what we're facing right off the bat. We start with the assault on this first fort here. I don't know which one this is, Fort DeRussy. So this is all going to go kind of slow, and as always, I'm going to take my time. It's going to take a while to get these guns going up anyway. We got our first reinforcement, so you can see here with 2 hours to go, we've actually got them outnumbered at the moment at Fort DeRussy. I'm going to wait until I can get my artillery in place, because obviously artillery is the key to all of this. All right, so he's gotten some reinforcements now, and he's actually venturing out from the fort, which is perfect. I hope he does more of that. We're still trying to get our guns in a position. And I'm trying to get a few over here as well. This is going to take quite a while. And it looks like some of his are actually hitting me as well. You can see he's already caused 35 casualties on this one unit. We're going to start hitting his guns though. He keeps getting more and more reinforcements. That's fine. The 24 pounders and some of the smooth bores in these fresh units that I've created, those are more for the future. Those are for the defense when I know that I'll need them in the second phase of this when he counterattacks. All right, we're going to take some casualties here. But he won't get off more than one volley. Thankfully, he didn't do too much damage with it. It'd be a little difficult getting these guns across this water. Actually, I'm going to try to bring some this way so then I can move them across land. And let's go ahead and get these 24 pounders up. Mostly right now I'm just worried about getting his guns. I want to try and neutralize his artillery as much as I possibly can. It's been kind of the strategy to every battle I've fought. This 10-pounder unit has just been slaughtered. Gotta pull him out. Problem is his guns are so well protected and I don't have enough firing on them yet. No, don't go after them. Oh boy. Okay. We really got to take out his artillery. Having a rough time with that right now, though. And he just got more reinforcements. Wow, my sharpshooters are taking a lot of casualties too. I gotta pull them back. Man, having a rough time taking out his artillery. I think probably gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way, because I'm losing the artillery duel right now. His are just too well protected. Alright, that appears to have worked. I probably waited too long to do it. You've got so many men in there. Okay. So Fort DeRussy's in the bag. Now we've got him in the open. Now we need to bring the guns up. Sure why Pegram was down that far, but we're probably going to lose him. Let's look at the numbers right now. Okay, so I've inflicted 7,000 casualties, taken out about 36 guns. I've lost 10 guns, lost about 2,000 men. How many did I inflict so far? 7,000. So that's probably not ideal. We're going to need to do better than that. But now that we hold the fort, that should slow down those casualties some. All right, on to the next part. All right, we're on to Fort Stevens. Still got to solidify things here at Fort DeRussy. It's not going particularly well at the moment. They're driving back everybody that I'm throwing in there. Got to get the guns firing. And more reinforcements. Oh boy. Let's hold up here for a second because there's a lot happening. I got to slow down. These guys just came charging right out at me. I was not expecting that at all. So what I need right now is I desperately need this artillery to start firing again. Now that we've got these guys in the open. As long as we can keep these guys back here, the artillery will do their jobs. And I'm losing a lot of commanding officers too. Go back to normal speed, at least for now. Once this artillery gets moved up, we'll heavy artillery is reinforcing the enemy. Of course it is. We'll sit tight for here, right here for a while, and we're definitely going to have to target his artillery. Maybe trying to hold these fortifications isn't the best idea at the moment, because they're too easy to get flanked. Alright, now that the artillery started opening up, we had the expected effect of driving those guys out. So now we'll start pushing forward. Let's pause and look at the numbers real quick. 3 hours, 21 minutes to go on this phase. We've taken out 70 of his guns. We've still just lost the 10 that we lost early on. Lost about 3,000 men, inflicted 14,000 casualties. Alright, we just got to be cautious because every man counts right now. See what's happening over here. Now they're still counterattacking. Wow, they're coming at me with everything they got. Let's finish off some of this artillery if we can. Slow down again for a minute. Alright, we're starting to gain the edge on this side, I think. I gotta get out in front of these guns. Let's get these 20-pounders over here so we can focus on it. I don't think Anzac diggers are going to take them out by themselves, actually. Oh, Hart, slow down, buddy. So we got to get on the side of this unit here, Ruger. The way he's stretched out right here, we should be able to flank him if we get in right here. Look at Farnsworth. He's going to try to occupy these fortifications. That didn't last long. It's going to take a little while for these guns to get in place. Alright, Ruger's not going to last long now that we drove off Barton. There he goes. Alright, we're continuing to get these guys out in the open. We're getting to the place now where we're going to start seeing some of these units dissolve because they're taking enough casualties. I've lost 3,600 men, 12 guns. We've wiped out a massive amount of his artillery. But we still have a long way to go. We haven't even gotten close to taking Fort Stevens yet. Now we got to start advancing again. Let's bring Hart over this way. to try and get these guys on their flank. I got to move the front line forward, and then I've got to move the guns up. Oh, look at this. Alright, we gotta get resupplied. Alright, there we go. We drove him off. That's pretty much the last obstacle out here. Now we've got to get in and start focusing on the fort. 2:43 to go. I'm pretty much, I think, going to wipe out all the men on this side. We're going to start seeing units disappearing soon. Once we do that, it makes the job a little easier. Now we've got a lot of ground to cover up here. Oh no, 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 no. I didn't realize I had second corps units over here. Let's not do that. I forgot my first corps is the one that's actually over there. This is the second corps. Alright, we're in range of the guns now. We gotta back up. Try to organize by divisions just to make this a little easier to sort. Actually, let's do this. Yikes. Go deal with that battery the old-fashioned way. The archer to turn. Face these guys. Alright, Law, you take that battery out. There we go. Alright, we finally established ourselves over here. Just a few units left. You can see all the units that have dissolved now. So what are we looking at? We actually look at even odds for the first time. Major advantage in artillery. We've taken out about 24,000, 25,000 men at least. It doesn't count the units that have dissolved completely. But we're still facing a huge portion of his army around the other forts that we haven't even touched yet. And this is the majority of our army. Alright, so we're gonna probably finish this segment and wrap it up right here. This may end up being a three-parter, actually. There's a lot that still has to happen. I think we're pretty well settled over here. These units are going to need a lot of reinforcing when we get back to camp at the end of this day. So now we need to start turning the focus over here. Looks like he's going to send some more units that way, which is fine by me. Get our line built. We'll hold it. We'll bring up the guns underneath. Our 20-pounders are actually in range. 4-inch siege guns will definitely be in range. See if we can nail his guns. That means O'Hare should be in range too. Thankfully, these are much weaker artillery units in that fort. And then it's going to open up again because I think we have Fort Slocum down here that we're going to have to deal with as well on the north side. And then you still have the south side as well in the city itself. Oh, we're actually driving units out of the fort. We might be able to do this with artillery. Once we take out his artillery, then I can move my sharpshooters up. Wow. I'm really impressed that he's... I shouldn't say impressed. I should say grateful that he's sending all these units over to this side. Out of the fort. See if we can take this guy out. Oh, we're in range. Okay. Oh, things have gotten quiet. Let's try and take out this battery. I think I'm just going to sit tight up here. These guys have fought hard. They've got a lot of casualties that we're going to have to replenish. Eventually we may move them down to the shoreline here, but not yet. Right now I just want to focus on trying to clean out his artillery. If we can drive these other guys out, maybe we'll just march into the fort. Maybe we'll focus on his infantry for just a second. There we go. I don't have a lot of these skirmisher units available up here. These guys are really tough to knock out because they're fortified. Move the 10-pounders up because they really can't hit much from there anyway. Sweet's going to take some casualties here, but we're going to knock this battery out. Beautiful. Now let's hit this unit here. Actually, let's put those 24-pounders in here. Those ones there, we'll put these ones over here. Alright, now we're going to bring up some big guns on this side. pretty well going to do it for this phase, and I think we'll wrap it up at the end of this phase on this video, and we'll come back tomorrow with part 2 and then probably a part 3. There we go. He's not going to be able to hold there now that I'm fortifying these positions. Alright, let's look at the numbers now. He's down to just 54 guns of the over 200 that he had to start. We've only lost 16, which is really good because I lost a bunch at the start. We've lost about 5,000 men. No, don't go after Anzac diggers. Alright, wipe these guys out. Alright, this may, yeah, I was going to say this may tick down with the capture of Fort Stevens. Then again, maybe not. Looks like we're going to keep it going. Now we're just going to sit tight and inflict a bunch of casualties. Mostly from artillery. This thing is far from done, that's for sure. Alright, so we'll take a look at what the next part is, but then we're going to wrap it up right here. Let's see what happens now that we're adding Fort Slocum to the mix. I don't know if we have any more reinforcements coming or not. Doesn't appear that way, so we're going to have to shift over with these guys. He also hasn't really gotten any new ones, so you can see where things are. We've got a slight advantage. He has added some more guns to the mix, so we'll start pushing down with these guys, and we'll drive him out from this next line of fortifications, which shouldn't be that hard. But let me know your thoughts about all that. Use the comment section below. What do you think I should be thinking about, planning for, doing differently? What do you like? What do you not like? And we'll see you again tomorrow with part 2. Thanks for watching.